do the complete opposite now. Because these are pretty dry, and how do I know that? Yes, so I will show you that they are pretty dry. So tissue paper is the name of the game. Voila, dry.
Lisa, what are we using?
Good question. So I have oil paint, cold wax, dollop of gel, gambling gel, and I've put out Cad Red, which is an opaque, Perylene Red, which is translucent, Prussian Blue, translucent, Cobalt Teal, opaque, and that's a alizarin yellow. How can you tell? Well, when you lay them out like that, you can really see the light. Now I did put some of this, I put the wax in the Cad Red, but it's still probably gonna lay out flat. So what am I gonna do? What is this painting? It's mostly what?
Green, blue.
Cool. Okay, so. Which color should I go on with it first, do you think?
Red.
Let's do the red, Perylene Red on top and see what happens.
And that's the transparent.
This is a transparent, yep. So I'm just gonna lay it down here. Now what happens is when you put the red over this dark, it changes the value of the red, right? So then all of a sudden you have a great value change. Okay, so that's number one. And I think I'm going to, I'm actually gonna do a little more markings in here, because every time you do that, it changes the level of the way the paint goes in. Now let's see if I take this Cad Red. It's really bright. Let's see what happens there. That's gonna cover, right? So opacity covers, translucency shows through. Now if I pull this down though, meaning I thin it out, it still allows, I still can let it allow what's underneath to come through. Or I can cover it up if I want and make it a flat areas. Just so some of it comes through. What do you think? Which sides do you like? Now if I keep pulling it back, see how the red sits in the lines? And you gotta notice the way, so I usually, let me just do it again so I can notice the way you use I already activated it. So when you're pulling back like that, you're holding this thing
spot looks really
up,
good on this.
right? So again, remember what I do with this? Now it's a mixture of Cad Red and Perylene Red. And so it's gonna be some other color. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors out here. I don't even have white. So I'm gonna leave that like that. And now over here, let's do this. So I'm using the complementary color right on top. I'm just gonna cover over this a little bit. That's the what? The opaque, right? Goodbye. Now, at this point, I could, this is where I need a razor blade, but let's just scrape it through.
Is that a pottery tool?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to be a potter a million years
Wish I
ago.
had brought some.
I love pottery
There's
tools.
a ton of them at home.
So that's the opacity on top of there. And then this is Prussian blue. Let's put that on top of this. I don't know if you remember, but I started with that, I think. So basically, I want you to, when you go back to your paintings, I want you to do the complete opposite on top. And you don't have to do the whole thing, and it shouldn't be a belabored experience. It should just be like, okay, goodbye to the painting, and then we're gonna put them away and leave them to breathe. But look at the blue over the white, right? That's quite nice. And then we're gonna get into the pigment sticks where we're really gonna talk about translucency and opacity. So, one more thing, because I put this yellow out, I gotta use it. Here. So I might come back over here, and let's change this up some. So that's a translucent yellow, alizarin yellow. Now what happens if I get cray-cray and say, I can't wait, oop, that's okay. I can't wait, I wanna do this. Let's see.
When you're buying paint, how do you know what's translucent?
It usually says it on the tube or the color charts. All alizarins are translucent. All I'm drawing a blank. Alizarins, quinacridones.
Phthalo
Is translucent?
Phthalo, yep.
Phthalo is translucent?
and cadmiums are
Opaque.
opaque.
Yep. So I'm really sort of messing myself up, but again, I'm not making a mess because it was dry. The paintings were dry, and you know, if I just do this for a little bit, I'm gonna be okay. If I keep going, just put this over here.
Can you demonstrate going too far?
Um,
No, we know how to make mud.
Yeah, you know, or then it becomes a smear fest or something, you know, which this is sort of getting there. But let's
Then you can scrape it back.
well, then I can scrape it back, yeah. Or again, I can always
It's beautiful.
pull back and you know, reveal. Again, with this, the residue on the scraper is just a great way to mix another variation of color, because you've picked up all the colors that are in the painting, right? So, and then at any point, you can go in, and I'm just gonna make some more, you know, lines. Again, I don't know where this painting's going or what's happening. I'm just trying to get variety, contrast, some linear elements, some light, some dark, some cool, some, you know, the simple stuff. Blah, 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 all that stuff. And then, you know, again, I'm just trying to get some variety in there. So that's that, I might leave that. And so suddenly I made this whole thing cool, right? So what do you think's gonna happen next?
Scrape down to some.
No, I'll probably put
Oh.
I'll put a layer of something warm or something light. So when I'm making paintings, I'm thinking of layers of building from the bottom up, knowing that what's underneath is gonna show through, but maybe not. And then I'm thinking about, well, for me right now, at this point, with what I'm doing, I'm not even thinking, but it just, if I dissect it, it's usually a warm, it's usually translucent, and then it gets to be a cool, and then it's an opaque. So you're building, like a layer cake, right? So if you slice down, you've got those layers, or pull back, just trying to get a rich surface. So again, don't rush the painting, you know? You don't have to make the painting in the beginning. It could take a couple days. It doesn't have to be for an hour to make a painting. So that's what you're gonna do. I will come around. I mean, basically you can look at what you have and know that if you've got an old green painting, what are you gonna put on it?
Red.
Red.
If you've got color galore, what might you put on it?
White.
Nah,
No?
Like
I
a
wouldn't go
gray?
with white right now. I would go with either translucent dark, covered all up, or a translucent, you know, red, or that, you know, of course we all love that transparent orange, which, you know, is a go-to. Something like that. And then you're not gonna do too much, you're gonna put them away, because then we're gonna go into these things, the RNF pigment sticks. Thank you. Yay! Is that good?
Awesome.